And good morning. Welcome to Things You Might Not Have Heard, coming to you live or recorded based on when you check it out. We're doing it live. Maybe you check it out on a replay. It's Thursday, January the 20th, 2022. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne, and these are some news stories that you helped pick out as stories that you said. Literally, you said were interesting to talk about. Now, how this works out, it's all part of a thing I've been doing for a while called the Conversation Project. And what it does is tries to find the most conversational news topics out there and brings them to y'all and does a little bit for me so I can do some research for some projects we got going on. You get a chance to vote up the stories, if you will, by going to our website, The Conversation Project. This is theconversationproject.com, and following us on our social media sites. On Facebook, find us at This is a Conversation, and on Twitter, th_conversation, as you see our stories in our feed every 50 minutes, brand new stories. Just engage in them just like any other news source you have. We think of ourselves as not your main news source, but your side piece news source. You can take that any way you want to in the joke. We want to give you things that people are talking about out there in the world that doesn't get kind of bogged down in the breaking news or the extended breaking news cycle. One story this week is definitely in a breaking news cycle, definitely big time news. We'll go deeper into that in just a moment. As you see at the bottom, it says make sure your sound is up. If you're not hearing anything right now, then you should turn your sound up. Also, we want to make sure that you know that we can help support us. We have more links to how you can help us out in a little bit. But remember, if you're looking to improve on what's going on here, help me keep things going and help keep me literally caffeinated, because the bills pay for caffeine, is coffee, by the way, this morning. Go to buymeacoffee.com/J Cleveland Payne, and you can do a coffee donation there. A coffee donation one time, a big time, a couple cups, or a subscription to a couple cups of coffee every single month. Every single penny helps. Every single cup of coffee helps. Every single donation helps. Every single affiliate link helps. We'll talk about that going forward too. This grew out of something called 8 Things to Talk About. Now there are less stories, but there are more advertisements. We're working this whole thing out. So let's get to the first story of the things you might not have heard, things that are worth talking about when you go out in public today. First story is Gaspard Ulliel, Hannibal Rising star, dies in skiing accident at 37. MSN.com is the source for this one. And this is just the one I pulled. As I went deeper, and as the story progressed, it went from the star of Hannibal Rising. He played Hannibal in the Hannibal Rising TV show. It will also change from the fact that he is actually a French actor, to the star of Moon Knight, where he's not actually the quote unquote star of Moon Knight. He apparently is in the new upcoming Moon Knight limited series coming from Disney Plus, coming out in about 2 months, March, I believe. So we will see more of him post mortem coming forward. Dying in a tragic ski accident at the age of 37. So we're, of course, sending out our love and prayers out to the family and friends of Gaspard Ulliel. There's not many things I can pick him out of. When I said Hannibal Rising, I remembered that. And so I picked that from there. But when the Moon Knight came out, I can't tell if he's in any trailers or whatnot like that. Essentially, it was a way to kind of make it more trending by putting a newer thing in there. No comments from any of the cast or crew or producers of the new TV show, as far as I can tell. But this is one that popped up and then kept popping up in various different places with various different titles. And so we put it in there, and you guys saw this as pretty interesting for the morning, or yesterday afternoon, I should say. Coming in with the numbers 2 story, not necessarily in that order, but the stories that were picked to see that you said were pretty interesting, and we pulled out specifically. This is one we pulled out that's mainstream media necessary, with some context. So this one, U.S. will provide $200 million in military aid to Ukraine amid crisis. NPR.org is our source. Coffee is our cure for our hiccups. This is a big one because, one, we are worried globally about Russia and how they're going to deal with Ukraine, and say how they're going to deal with it. They'll either do something or not do something. Number 2, yesterday, President Biden had his second long form news conference in front of actual people, taking actual questions, going for about 2 hours of just general questions from basically everybody. And since President Biden, formerly known as Vice President Biden, formerly known as Senator Biden, just known as Joe from Scranton, tends to kind of shoot off the cuff, say things that seemingly random, that aren't quite there, and make a couple gaffes. the people, the reporters, the people listening, everyone is essentially, especially Putin, are listening to make sure that what Biden did not actually say was Russia kind of has a pass to kind of go in and do stuff in Ukraine for a minor action, because Ukrainians freaked the hell out when he said that yesterday in his news conference. That's probably not what he meant. Maybe those were the words that came out of his mouth. But well, we're going to see what goes down in Ukraine, because this is a big hotspot in the world. Even if you live out in rural Kentucky and don't think that Ukraine is a big deal, if Russia takes action on anyone, tries to invade someplace, and we have to do counteraction, it's going to cost us in revenue and money, and lots of it's going to be for weird things like oil. So because Russia controls a lot of oil, if they start backing away and we don't have access to other people's, it gets really messy. There's a weird world situation going around where things more intricate than you think. So don't think Russia possibly taking over Ukraine is a problem for the Europeans or the Ukrainians. It's our problem as well. That's not how democracies work, and that's not how the world should work. If you want to help things keep going smoothly here at the Conversation Project, or just keep things hopefully soon going smoothly, you don't think you're going smooth, you can help by just getting yourself some rest. Go to thisistheconversationproject.com/bear mattress and check out the bear mattresses. Check out the mattresses. You can start with a better night's sleep pretty much in days from now. You can get a nice bear mattress. It will come to your house. There are various different styles of mattress to kind of fit your actual sleeping needs. They have blankets, they have pillows, and they have 365 days for you to try it once you bring it home. You pull it in the house, you open the box, it turns into a mattress, not like a transformer, just like a poof, opens up, and you can try this great mattress and see about getting a good night's sleep. Well, not quite right now, but maybe moments from now when you put your credit card in, or a few days from now when the thing shows up. This is theconversation.com/bear mattress. Get yourself on a great new mattress. Get the process started today, at least. This is an affiliate link, so we do get a bit of commission for sending you to Bear Mattress. Now, the next story, we're going to talk about things that are pretty interesting. At least I think it was interesting. New York Attorney General says investigation into Trump and his business found significant evidence suggesting fraud. NBCnews.com, the source for this one. This one was all over the place too, and it got buried in President Biden, gaffing and stuff like that, and COVID-19 and masks and the website, all those things happening. But this is a pretty big deal because of what maneuvering is being done. Now, the New York Attorney General actually does not have the power to commit a trial on anyone that's basically on the crime, at least specifically for the fraud stuff for Donald Trump and his family. They can't sue him in a crime in this case. What they can sue is in civil action. It's just the way the Attorney General's offices work for these types of things, and just in New York in general, the way their big system is. So while they are preparing to possibly do some sort of civil action that may hurt him in the pocketbook, they're also negotiating with other districts, other places, especially like the actual city of New York, to try to see if they can actually try him in a case that will have real penalties like jail time. We'll see how that works out. But the New York AG says with all their studies, and this is from essentially the last administration, the last AG was working on the stuff, but he was time limited out and leaving a new one coming in. So he did not speak on what they were finding. New AG saying they found a bunch of stuff and they're going to figure out what they can do with it. Who knows? Donald Trump has been Teflon Don literally for so long. We'll see if anyone can actually make something stick. Remember, Al Capone went to jail not for being a crime boss, but for not paying taxes on something he stole in that year. So there's that. 40,000 people sign a petition demanding Vail Resorts hire more workers and pay them better. Denver.cbslocal.com. So this is a local story to them that popped up, and we saw it in the news feed. We popped it up there, and you guys saw it as in the reins of something interesting to talk about. So we pulled it out there. This is something that's going a bit against the grain of the Great Resignation. People aren't so much just leaving their jobs, but people are turning to more of a great collective bargaining here in the Vail area for the resorts. Now, running leisure type activities are pretty labor intensive, and oddly enough, pretty marginally intensive in money. The people there don't get paid a lot because the more you pay your people, the less you make on the margins for the people coming in. And if right now things are scarce in the woods and the mountains and Vale and places like that, it's because there's a lot of issues and extra costs coming up to keep up with COVID cleanings and things like that, and just people just not wanting to get out. The people around Vale and working in Vale signed a petition telling the resorts they need to pay the folks more, and they need to actually hire more people, find a way to do that so that things can be sustained, so that the city, so that the area, the tourism and the just general lifestyle of people can improve. We will see how that works out. We will see what this petition will actually do. We'll see if people can actually be hired and want to go to Vale. That if this is the case, that means if money is available and the resorts are going for it, there's probably some good jobs in the mountains, in the snow, or in the summertime. I guess they also have great resort stuff going as well. In Colorado, I know some folks who just recently moved there in the last couple of years, some radio guys, to be honest, and they say they love it. The place is great. The people are great. It's a whole new different area from their life in the South. Not that life in the South is, well, we're going to kind of just move on that, but it's a different type of vibe and different type of folks going on. And of course, the legal weed also helps as well. So if you're looking for a gig, Vail, Colorado may be hooking up fairly soon. You can also help us out here with the Conversation Project by going to thisistheconversationproject.com/Zenny for Zenny Optical. Optical means eyes or glasses and stuff like that. And Zenny Optical is a provider of eyewear and glasses. They provide eyewear and glasses at a very inexpensive cost with great customer service and just great looking glasses. Check them out at thisisconversationproject.com/Zenny. You have a chance to try them on and send them back if you want to, just like those other places. You have a chance to try them on by the magic of the internet and press a button. They put the frames in your picture. It's cool stuff like that. And as I said, this frames are just as luxurious as you can get anyplace else. But some frames start as low as $9.95, and that's how they got known for being very inexpensive source of frames. So if you've got children with glasses who lose them a lot, or you a person yourself who loses your glasses a lot, you can replace them pretty easily by going to Zenny.com. Or you could work on not losing your glasses in the first place, and the ones you buy at Zenny can last you quite a long time. Stop by this website. This is theconversationproject.com/Zenny, and check it out today. Our final story that we're picking from the batches of what you suggested, we went to, we basically put the stories out there, and we get about 30 to 33 stories throughout a day in a normal typical day. About 31 stories I think we pulled today, and we're looking right now because we're now that I'm actually curating the stories that you're helping to curate. We're looking in the top 15 stories of the range instead of just the 8 that we're picking with 8 things to talk about. But we had to talk about all 8. So the last story I picked was a late posting story. It was posted late in the evening. We posted for the overnights, and it carried itself all the way over into the range, and it was worth a chat. Oscar Mayer sells out on baloney-inspired face mask on Amazon, plans to restock. USA Today is our source for that one, and that headline pretty much says the story. Oscar Mayer, the baloney people, made some face masks that were inspired by baloney, and they sold out. Very soon, you'll have your chance to go to Amazon and order more of your baloney inspired face mask. You go to the website, go to USA Today, or go search for the actual thing. You'll see a person wearing one of those face masks that you see people wear to clear their skin, and it looks glisteningly pink like bologna, if that's what you're into. One story that we will probably see pop up, we'll see because you have to actually vote it in. It's going into the feed probably right about the time we're actually recording this, putting this online. Family of U.S. Marine killed in Afghanistan files $25 million lawsuit against Alec Baldwin, claiming the actor accused them of being insurrectionists on Instagram. Now, you might want to actually go deeper into the story and kind of see what's going on, but the big deal is that Alec Baldwin's got enough problems right now that this is one more problem he definitely does not need. But a lawsuit is coming up because not so much that the family of Marine killed in Afghanistan, but essentially it's a slander thing. It's saying that they're insurrectionists. You can believe or disbelieve what's going on. check out the story, read it as it comes through, check it out in the feed and give it some love. It will be worth the effort, I guarantee you on that one. But this is one that's going to be posting fairly soon, so it will see whether this story actually makes it into things that you might have heard of, because, and it's one that if you watch this, you've actually heard of it coming in for the day. Now, don't forget, there are plenty of ways to connect with us and get things going on with us at things you might not have heard, or specifically the Conversation Project. The conversationproject.net is, I'm sorry, .com is our website again. We also are at buymeacoffee/J Cleveland Payne. So if you want to help keep me caffeinated and keep things going, keep the lights on, if you will, literally the lights around here, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/J Cleveland Payne and give us a donation, be a patron, although that's another spot of this art. And you can follow along on Facebook and Twitter. This is a conversation on Facebook, and th_conversation on Twitter. And you can follow along in the feeds, and you can upvote essentially the stories as they come along. Every 50 minutes or so, we post a news story. You just need to like it, love it, hate it, share it, and hopefully read it, not just look at the headline and engage with that one and get more into it. And we pick out of that batch from the day prior stories to talk about in the morning to get you off to the good start of things that you might not have heard about. Maybe it's one you didn't catch, or maybe you just catch the feed because you don't have time to check out the feed. It works like that. This today has been 8 things to talk about. Actually, it hasn't been. I'm still working on that. So buttons. This today has been things you might not have heard. That's what the show is. For Thursday, January the 20th, 2022, my name is J Cleveland Payne. Remember, buymeacoffee.com/J Cleveland Payne to keep things going for this project and other projects in the More Better Media project. We'll have more promotions coming soon, because that's what you do here on the internets. And hopefully, if things go well, more stories to talk about tomorrow morning for another batch of things you might not have heard, so that as you head off to your work day or your school day, or you're just hanging out in the store day, you may know a couple extra news stories and be able to talk a couple things that you didn't think going forward. In the meantime, we love you. We will miss you, and we'll do this all over again tomorrow.